right, welcome back, everyone. I'm joined by Jordan Sherman, CEO of Immortals. He's back here at the State Champ's office. We interviewed him before a few months ago. You guys can check that information out over on some of our social media platforms. But Jordan, how have you been these last few months?
Good. We've been really busy. We had a big announcement yesterday. We're doing our Immortals Invasion in Detroit next weekend, which will be a 4-day event, which is awesome. Tomorrow, League of Legends Summer starts, and I'll explain to you before we started, we made a whole host of changes to our coaching staff and to the players. We launched the women's Valorant team, which we talked about in January. So they're up and active and playing in tournaments. And our Wild Rift team, which we discussed back then, they made it to the World Championships. So they're in Singapore right now for the World Championships, representing North America. So we've just been busy across competitive partnerships, and now I'm really excited because we're going to be showing up in Detroit, and we're getting some great feedback from people who can't wait to come to the events.
I know it's been, I've been so excited for it to happen. I'm just waiting, and then we have it, week and a half, and it's going to be pretty exciting to have those events. I want to go to all of them. I'm not sure if it's possible, but I want to kind of go back to discuss things in kind of chronological order. I guess starting either with Wild Rift or the women's Valorant team that you have. I guess we'll start off with the Valorant team. So how has that been? When did you guys start recruiting for it?
So we started in January, and we put out like an open recruit, and we said we're starting a Valorant team. It's going to be an all-women's team, and we went through tryouts, and we found some awesome players, and they've been practicing as a group. Tryouts started like January 1st through the end of January, roughly, and then we selected the team in February. And then we sent them to Chicago for a boot camp, and then we did this awesome video footage of them like out in the cold, winter jackets, on Lake Michigan, Immortals winter hats. And so then the team launched in March, and then they started playing, like we announced the team, and then they played in a tournament the next day. So they had been practicing and actually playing under a fake name before we announced them. And then what's been really cool is on our Immortals TikTok, we've seen tremendous growth for our players. Specifically, Sarah has been like popping off on TikTok. So what we'll do is we'll show like footage of the player like in their jersey, and then we'll show like an awesome ace or a great kill that they've done. And then you'll see on TikTok like 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 views of these players, and all the comments, 38,000 comments, 40,000, 50,000 comments. So it's been awesome to see the Valorant team not only be great players and play in tournaments, but they're picking up a real social media following on TikTok. And that's where we're finding a lot of audience for gamers watching Valorant content. It's not necessarily the same for League of Legends, although it's growing in other games. But for whatever reason, because of the verticalness, I think, of it and the way we set it up, everyone's been talking about Sarah and the rest of the team on Valorant. So we did a shoot. We were in Chicago for a tournament last week, and we just kind of showed the team setting up, and the video ended before we showed Sarah, and all the comments are like, "Where's Sarah? Where's Sarah?"
Yeah.
And it's like that to me is really cool that people are identifying with the team, following us. That's like the platform for which they do it. So that's been an interesting change in our business, like seeing how important this team is and seeing how important that platform is.
So going back to the specifics of TikTok, I don't know. I feel like Valorant, as opposed to League of Legends, it's a lot more clippable. It's a lot more fast-paced league. There's 10 minutes of build-up at least, and then some of the games there's not really kill focus or not a lot of plays happen. But in Valorant, every single round it's just like you're out there. So I feel like it's really just game specific, as well as how you guys have built your roster, and that's kind of what I want to go into next. How important was it that you guys had a majority of your players from the Great Lakes region?
Yeah. Well, first, it's so funny that you say that about TikTok, because when you just said the sentence, you're like, yeah, no duh, like TikTok is better on Valorant, and Valorant's better on TikTok. That took us like a month of analysis to like view and see and like play out. And so it's good that it becomes so instinctual to like true gamers, because that's kind of the things that we're seeing. So I was kind of chuckling in my head as you said that, like, yeah, of course Valorant's better on TikTok. So we have 3 of the 5 players are from the area, and I think that's important because everything that we're trying to do with like Immortals Invasion and the players is we want to give opportunity to people from the region. I think if we just say like, hey, exclusively it's only be from the region, we might be putting ourselves potentially at a disadvantage where every team is recruiting globally and we're only recruiting regionally. But we also saying like, no, we're going to commit to at least a certain amount of players and business staff from the region. It's about giving people the opportunity. Like that has always been a key tenet of our strategy and of our companies. People from the region will come here and they'll work hard at the company, whether they're business or whether they're players, because they believe in the mission. So on the business side, we've hired people from Chicago, Minnesota, Toronto, Detroit, and it's been awesome. Like, these are really hard-working people who have done a great job leveling up the company because they so clearly identify with the mission of bringing gaming to the region. So whether it's business or players, it's important to us to find people from here.
Yeah, and kind of, going off of that and kind of the success you've had in esports, going over to Wild Rift, I thought it was so surprising. I personally don't play. I'm not a mobile gamer. I used to be. I used to play a lot of mobile games, but Wild Rift, how has that, transformed? How, going back to the same question as Valorant, when did you start recruiting for that? When was that like, this is an opportunity we want to pursue, we want a team for Wild Rift?
So we've been looking to mobile games for a long time, and we have a League of Legends team, and Wild Rift is basically the mobile version of League of Legends. And mobile gaming isn't huge in the US yet, but it's really big internationally, specifically in Asia and in the Middle East. So there's reason to believe it's going to come here over time. So we said, okay, that's a vertical that probably makes sense. Every person, it's much easier to grow up with a phone than it is to grow up with a PC. So if we think that there's going to be mobile gaming here for the next 10 to 15 years, Wild Rift being a Riot game and being a version of League of Legends, it makes sense credibly for us to enter that space. So then we decided, okay, if we're going to get a team, who can we get? And we did a whole recruiting, and we found a player named Hoon. And Hoon not only was the best player at his position, but he was also a YouTube star who did travel vlogs. And he had this great dedicated following. And that's rare in gaming. Most pros, undiscovered pros, don't have large followings. If you have a large following, you're already an influencer. So our first step was, let's talk to Hoon, let's get him on board. And he said, well, I actually have 3 or 4 other players, Gume, Lemon, Charm, Iraqi Zoro. Like, I have all these guys that I really want to play with that are my team. And we're like, okay, we're going to sign you. We're going to sign the rest of your players. And that happened in about August. So it's been almost a year with that team. And they were very upfront from the beginning. We want to win North American championships and we want to go to Worlds. And
you're already accomplishing that.
It's crazy. So they won Major 1, they won Major 2, and I was like, oh wow, they could really do this. They went to Mall of America in Minnesota for North American championships, and they won first place in North America. So that automatically they only had to be top 3 to qualify, but they finished first. So now they got flown to Singapore, and they're there now. The tournament starts tomorrow, and they are playing against 24 teams from all the regions. They're waiting right now to see the qualifier, to see who gets in, and I'm really excited. Not just only for Immortals, I'm excited for them. I mean, to be the best at what you do in anything is crazy. To be the best in, like, the state is crazy. Then to be the best in the country, to be the best in the world. And these guys practice and play so hard. And for them, I would love to see them win the championship. There's also a $2 million prize pool, so that would be really sick if they can get that done. But I really want it for them, and I'm optimistic just based on the way that they go about their business that they have a shot at doing some damage in the tournament.
So I haven't followed Wild Rift that much. So you said they're in Singapore right now. So when is the World's version of that, I guess, in terms of League of Legends going to Wild Rift?
The World's version of Wild Rift?
Yes.
It's right now.
So that's happening right now.
It's 1 month. Yeah, I think it started the 14th, like for the qualification game. So it's June 14th to July 14th. So it's all going to be streamed on Twitch.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Check it out, yeah.
I know. I'm like I said this back when I first interviewed you. Looks like Immortals has come to the Great Lakes. They're the only esports team to be in the region, and I want to support the region. So I definitely have to check them out.
Please do. Yeah, and we're going to be streaming the games at Immortals Invasion too. So if you just kind of show up and
cool.
There'll be a drop down and it'll be streaming.
I mean, that's kind of goes hand in hand. We'll talk about that here next. But I mean, having Riot come in with their IP and supporting the community in the Great Lakes, and to be able to show off a team that's not only in the region but competing actively right at this second, that's going to be pretty cool.
I hope so. I mean, Riot's for people who don't know, Riot is the ones who make the games, League of Legends and Wild Rift and Valorant. And they've been so great as a partner because they've said, we want to give people opportunity who maybe don't get the chance all the time. If you live in Detroit, it's very hard to go to Los Angeles to go to a League of Legends match. So you're going to see we have a billboard downtown. And
I saw that. Norris posted about it on, I think, Instagram, and I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. We have a billboard downtown. When you go to the different venues for the events, you're going to see Riot IP and characters everywhere. There's going to be themed drinks, cosplayers, Riot employees are coming to like hang out with people and talk. So they're making a real commitment to Detroit, and I'm hoping that Detroit kind of shows up and shows out, because it's a great opportunity for us to be like, we're into gaming, we're into esports, we're supportive of this ecosystem, and we want Riot to be like, we want to come back to Detroit every year. Like, we want to make this kind of like a staple, and we're going to places that I would say are like non-traditional places. Like, we're going to Detroit Shipping Company.
Yeah, I was looking at the places. I mean, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I saw like the places. I'm like, I've never heard of some of these places, and I think the panel was a very smart idea. I really liked the panel with Riot Games. I thought that was cool, and some of the things.
Have you been to Durfee before?
I have not.
So it's at Durfee Innovation Society, which was I think it was a high school for like 100 years.
Yeah.
And they refurbished it. It's in Detroit, and it's beautiful. And it's like a community center for kids. It's got a huge auditorium. It's got a planetarium, a basketball court. It's got a gaming arcade. And that's going to be an event for kids and students. So I'd say anywhere from, honestly, like elementary school through college could really come to this thing. And Riot is going to be giving panels and showing, like, here's how you make a video game. Here's game development. Here's game design. Here's how you get involved in a video game career. And it's going to be a great opportunity for people to learn how games are made, how the industry works.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be free food and pizza and stuff like that too. And it's at a beautiful facility in Detroit. And what we're hoping is that kids can come to that and be like, oh, maybe I could, like, working in video games. Video games aren't just like a thing that I do. It could eventually be a career for me.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's not a career for them, for it to be inspirational that, like, okay, this awesome video game company came to my hometown, my innovation center, to tell me that, like, I could be part of this industry as a whole, whether it's a consumer or a player, even just a fan. And I'm hoping that a lot of people walk away from that day with, like, eyes open and excited, like, I can't believe Riot's here. I can't believe I got this opportunity.
Yeah, so switching gears to some of the aesthetics of the event, I thought it was super cool with the limited edition. I think there's only going to be 500 printed, the Nexus Bass shirts. Those were cool. So whose idea was it to have the Spirit of Detroit on the shirt?
I love that you liked it. So basically, for those who don't know, we give away the first 500 people on Sunday. So there's 4 days, 4 different events. Sunday is what we call the Nexus Bash. So I would say that is the most, like, traditional gaming event. It's at a gaming warehouse. There's going to be open PCs for everyone to play for free, League and Valorant. There's going to be a stage set up. Michigan's playing Michigan State. There's going to be casters. That's like the real gaming event. There's going to be food trucks on the street. And the first 500 fans get this T-shirt for Immortals Invasion. And we did one for Ann Arbor, our first Immortals Invasion, and there was a T-shirt, and it was Michigan themed. And now this one was Detroit themed. And we have a designer, her name's Reagan. She actually runs social media, but she's also like an incredible artist. And I should show you the other mock-ups, because she had like 3 just incredible versions. And on the shirt, it's like a little bit, if you know, you know, because it's the hand of the Spirit of Detroit. And then on the back is the state flag, the city flag, of Detroit, like on the inside. And it says Immortals Invasion around it and all the different places that we're going to. So we want the shirt to be a collector's item. We want it to be an incentive for people that want to get there early to be one of the first 500. I have a feeling we're going to probably do a limited run and make it available for sale for those who can't be there in Detroit. And I just love that it's so cool that it's like so true to the city itself. So the idea is, like, hopefully over time people want to, like, collect all the Immortals Invasion shirts. Maybe that becomes like a collector's item.
Like I said, I want it. It's like it said, it's super cool. I think
we're gonna hook you up.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Something that I think is super cool. You may not know it if you haven't been to Detroit, but as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I know what that is, and I like I said, it's super cool to have it. And like I said, you guys are doing an excellent job representing the region, and I can't wait to see what you guys have. I can't wait to see what you guys do in the future. And kind of the last topic I wanted to talk about, which was announced earlier, was that LCS Summer Finals is going to be in Chicago. So how did you guys, think about that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so as a whole, like, our strategy is Great Lakes focused. So we want to be in all the cities across the region. So that's Chicago, Toronto, Minneapolis, Detroit, Cleveland. So when Riot announced that LCS Summer Finals are going to be at the United Center. First of all, it's awesome. It's where the Bulls and Chicago Blackhawks play. We know we want to activate. So I think we're going to be doing an Immortals Invasion in Chicago. So similar to Detroit. It'll be a 3 to 4 day event where we show up at local places across the city and do the same things. Free to the public. networking opportunities, business opportunities, gaming opportunities, meet and greets. Like, just give it. Hey, if anybody's in Chicago for League of Legends Championship, you're gonna get a chance to go to these free events that Immortals is putting on to meet other gamers. And what we're hoping is that Immortals Invasion kind of becomes like a verb, like something that people know about.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, of course I'm going to the invasion. And it was funny. I saw someone on Twitter be like, I hope you guys invade Windsor next, or like, when are you guys gonna invade Columbus? I was like, that's great. So we're gonna invade Chicago. We'll be there for setup. Hopefully our team will be there, but it's tough to finish. You had to finish top 3 to get there, but if we can, that'd be epic. And regardless, we're gonna be showing up for fans in the region, and the fact that Riot is like committing to this region and showcasing like, no, Chicago, Detroit, these are areas of importance. These are people that we want to interact with. I think it's important for the area to show up and to showcase excitement and energy so we can continue to get these events. I saw the World Cup for soccer published like their top 16 cities for 2026, and Detroit didn't even make the top 16. And I was like, damn, that stinks that like we're not going to get a World Cup game. So the fact that we're getting these esports events, maybe that's even better. Maybe we can, like, if we show up and prove it, they'll keep coming back.
I mean, so it's 2022 now. Last time, anything was even in the region, it was 2019. I remember I was there, and that was pretty cool to happen. So I'm really excited for the region.
I think COVID kind of hurt Detroit a little bit for gaming and esports, because in 2019 we had the LCS finals at Little Caesars, and it was incredible. And there was such momentum around it, and then COVID happened and you couldn't do in-person events. So now that things are loosening up a little bit, I'm optimistic that this region's going to come back strong.
So that kind of wraps it up for anything I have to say. Is there anything upcoming you want to announce, or anything you want to tell the viewers?
I'd say follow us on TikTok, Immortals, and come to our Immortals Invasion event. Thursdays at Detroit Shipping Company. Free food and drink, and just a gaming watch party hangout. Fridays, Cuzzo's Chicken and Waffles. We're actually going to do a resume day, so you can meet Immortals employees and Riot employees. You can bring your resume and interview. You'll also get a free chicken and waffles that we're going to do. Saturdays at Durfee, that's like the Innovation Center Professional Esports, Work in Esports Day. And then Sunday, Replay Cafe, 5 to 9. That's like the gaming haven event. Free games, food trucks, Michigan versus Michigan State. Just a hangout. So I'm hoping everyone in the community, if you're interested in gaming, come to Immortals Invasion, get the t-shirt, and just help. It's all free. There's free food. It's free to attend. Like, we just want the community to come out and support.
Yeah, thanks again.
Cool. Thanks for having me.